You can feel it right now if you stand close enough. Not a breeze exactly, more like the door is breathing. On a hot May afternoon with the air conditioning running, you walk past your front door in bare feet and feel it. A ribbon of warm, humid air pressing in along the floor, slipping through the frame. The door is closed, the door is locked, and outside air is still getting in. That sensation is not a minor annoyance. It is your cooling system losing the fight through a gap you could seal with an $8 strip of foam. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates that air leakage is responsible for 25 to 40% of a home's heating and cooling energy loss across the full building envelope, including attic bypasses, wall outlets, basement rim joists, and yes, doors. Every dollar absorbed into that gap is energy. Your air conditioner already burned. The air inside your house was already cooled. You already paid for it. And it is escaping through a perimeter that costs less than lunch to fix. Stand at your front door on a hot day. If you can see daylight around the frame with the door closed, the gap is large enough to see through. That is not a figure of speech. That is an actual hole. And yet the door industry will tell you the solution is a new door. A new door that starts at around $550 and routinely climbs past $2,000 once labor is included, with high-end or complex installations running significantly higher. The Department of Energy documents that exterior doors contribute meaningfully to air leakage in homes, and their recommended first step is weather stripping, not replacement. They say weather stripping before they ever mention buying a new door. The industry says the opposite. Here is what is actually happening at a physics level. The air outside in summer is warm and humid. The conditioned air inside your house has been cooled and dried. That difference in temperature and pressure creates a gradient at every gap in your building envelope. The outside air pushes. It is always pushing, and it finds any gap, any discontinuity in the door perimeter, the same way water finds a crack in a basement wall. Even small gaps in the door perimeter allow continuous air infiltration. The air does not care what the door is made of. It does not care whether the door is 30 years old or brand new. It only cares whether the perimeter is sealed. This is the part the door replacement pitch never explains. A new exterior door with failed or missing weather stripping allows just as much air infiltration as the old one. The door material is not the variable. The seal is the variable. Weather stripping does not insulate. It eliminates the gap entirely, which forces that pressure differential to work against solid material instead of open air. The physics are identical whether you spend $8 or $3,000. A sealed perimeter stops infiltration. An unsealed one does not. That is the whole mechanism. Researchers at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, which operates as part of the U.S. Department of Energy, have documented measurable reductions in air infiltration from sealing gaps at exterior door perimeters. The reductions at a single seal point, just the door base, are measurable in blower door testing. The Department of Energy's own energy efficiency guidance documents that caulking and weather stripping together produce energy savings in real buildings, a range consistently borne out in whole house air sealing programs across the country. None of this is new knowledge. Spring bronze is one of the oldest weather stripping materials still in production, and properly installed, it holds its compression for decades without requiring replacement. Draft excluders and door curtains appear throughout European domestic history, evidence that people understood long before modern construction that the gap around a door, not the door itself, was the problem. The people who built those homes understood something that modern door marketing has spent decades obscuring. The problem was never the door. The problem was always the gap around it. So who benefits from framing drafts as a door problem? The door replacement services industry generates billions of dollars in annual revenue in the United States alone. An $8 foam strip does not fund that growth. A door replacement contractor earns nothing when a homeowner buys a self-adhesive V-strip at the hardware store. Their revenue model requires the problem to be the door. not the seal, the door. So the framing becomes, your door is old, your door is inefficient, your door is the reason you are uncomfortable. Home improvement media reinforces this because a new door is a content opportunity. It has styles, it has finishes, it generates affiliate revenue and manufacturer advertising. A 10-minute weather strip job produces none of that. There is no content economy around a foam strip. The incentives just do not align. They never needed to. Here is what actually fixes the problem in 3 levels. The first level costs $6 to $9. A self-adhesive foam tape kit, either V-strip or D-profile, covers a full door frame. No tools, no experience required. Press it in, close the door, done. It will compress over time and eventually need replacing, which is why it costs $6. For a rental, a first home, or anyone who wants to understand the problem before investing further, this is the starting point. It works. The second level is the door sweep. An aluminum sweep with a vinyl blade seals the bottom gap, the place where the most outside air enters on most doors. These cost $10 to $20. They screw into the bottom of the door face or the threshold, depending on the style. The bottom gap is the one that matters most. If you only do one thing, do this one. The third level is a Kerfin silicone bulb compression seal. It fits into a routed channel in the doorstop and creates a durable compression seal. Materials cost is $15 to $25, and it requires either a router or a door stop that already has a kerf cut. A carpenter can install this in under an hour. This seal holds its shape long after foam tape is given up, and it produces a contact fit that foam tape cannot match. Above that sits a spring bronze strip, $20 to $50 for a full door kit, which lasts for decades without losing its tension. A fully sealed front door costs between $15 and $65 in materials. The complete professional solution, including a sweep, a silicone bulb seal on the sides and top, and a threshold gasket at the bottom, is still under $100, including labor. According to HomeAdvisor, the documented range for a standard exterior door installation runs $550 to $2,400, and that is before you factor in high-end materials or a non-standard opening. That investment solves the same problem only if the replacement door is properly weather stripped. If it is not, you spent $2,000 and warm outside air is still pressing through the frame on every hot afternoon. The next time a salesman stands in your doorway and talks about energy-efficient glass packages, thermal breaks, and low-E coatings, you now see something he is not mentioning. You see the frame. You see the perimeter. You see the 4 edges where the door meets the stop, the threshold, the jamb. You know the glass is not where the air is coming from. You know the frame is. And you know that the fix has been sitting in the weather stripping aisle for over a century, waiting for you to walk past the door display and find it. The gap was never in the door. It was always in the frame. And now that you see it, you cannot unsee it.